Hi, my name is Madison O'Reilly, and I am a person in long-term recovery.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Grimm, and I'm an active member of Alcoholics Anonymous.
I'm Kelsey, and I'm recovering from drugs and alcohol.
My name is J. Red Andrews, and I do consider myself to be a person in recovery. I love my recovery community here in Cleveland, and I love being a part of anything that I can do to support and advance our goal, which is to stay sober and help people find connection.
Hey, I'm Sarah Zelagowski. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I am the founder and executive director of Project White Butterfly. As a person in recovery myself, I met some wonderful people in the rooms of recovery, and in 2019, I went to funerals, for my social activity that summer. We went to about 7 funerals in 8 weeks, and it was a very heavy summer. A lot of friends and I were really sad about what was happening, and we knew we lived in Cuyahoga County where there's a lot of resources, but there were still people being missed and people falling through the cracks. So we got together one night and we decided to make these cards that were really simple. They had 3 detox numbers in them, and they had a handwritten message that had short, quick, inspirational message. We love you and we're praying for you. Pick up the phone and start talking about what's going on, simple things like that. We put those cards on the streets of communities where we knew people were using or where we used to use, and we just had a hope that somebody would find one of those cards and want to make some changes in their life. Over the years, things have grown. We have expanded from just putting those cards out and helping people in Cuyahoga County to putting those cards out around the country and internationally. We provide one-on-one peer support for people. We host recovery meetings. We host outreach events. We pass out harm reduction supplies. We host a community dinner. We have created a Dispelling Stigma Gallery that educates people about how stigma creates a huge barrier for people to accessing care. And we just continue to listen to the needs of the community and people who are searching for recovery or already on a path of recovery, to how we can enhance their support, and we do what we can to make that happen. As we were meeting people on the streets through outreach, we knew that this was something that was needed in Cuyahoga County. Kindness and compassion are so important in recovery work because oftentimes in our use, we get the exact opposite of that. We get shame, we get judgment, we get stigma thrown at us. We are bundled in this stereotype, and in recovery, I think taking the time to just allow people to share their stories, share where they are, is one of the kindest things we can do for people, is just give them that space to share what they need to share.
That's all my life was secrets. Secrets and lies and, and covering up things I did. And it was like basically my whole life. And, secrets keep you sick, and I was sick for a while.
I felt isolated and alone in my entire life from a young age because I grew up in a home of addiction as well. I always felt just this emptiness. The first time someone listened to me without judgment was at a meeting, and I was just overcome with emotion because I'm getting emotional now, and to be surrounded by people that hardly knew me but knew every single thing that I was feeling and thinking because they had experienced that once as well. It's still healing and emotional to think about today.
Secrecy was a big part of my life. I couldn't tell anybody anything. The life I lived for 25 plus years was all a secret. Even as a child, I was secretive about a lot of stuff. It played a big, huge role in me staying sick.
We hid it. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell mom or dad or grandparents. I didn't tell anybody because it was like this secret, we can't tell anybody, they're gonna judge us.
Having that compassion for people and the understanding of what people are going through at different stages in recovery allows people to just exhale and feel comfortable. I remember being around my family early in my recovery, and I'm so grateful for them, but I still felt very outside. They didn't really understand what I was feeling. There were emotions going on. And so having that place where people can be where they feel like they belong and people get it, it makes a world of difference in building those relationships, making people comfortable, opening up space for honesty so that we can identify what is most helpful to move forward. Kindness and compassion are so important in recovery work because we are bundled in this stereotype. And in recovery, I think taking the time to just allow people to share their stories, share where they are, is one of the kindest things we can do for people, is just give them that space to share what they need to share.
Kindness and compassion I think those are the groundwork of what some of us may be missing when we're going through our tough times in life, right? And those are what help kind of catalyst our recovery, our kindness and compassion. And those are things that spread to person.
I was taught growing up, you treat others the way you want to be treated. So therefore, when I'm in this space specifically, compassion and kindness are at the forefront. I'm a work in progress in the real world.
People were just so generous and just nice, and they offered everything and all the above. Even like in the lifestyle I did live, I always thought that they would expect something in return. But everybody always did things out the kindness of their heart, and it was just one of the most, it was a feeling that I couldn't fathom, and it was just so beautiful and unique, and I'm just so grateful for the program today.
So kindness and compassion are the only reason I'm here right now. I mean, I know and I believe that the opposite of addiction is connection. It took me many years to be able to surrender to that, because again, that isolation and that hopelessness definitely kept me sick a lot longer. So kindness and compassion is, without it, I don't know that any of us can recover.
As a certified peer supporter, our whole thing is about kindness and compassion. We have to meet people where they're at, and we have to understand that we may not have the lived experience that they do, but we can empathize with their lived experience. We can show up for them when they need it. And I think that is the most important thing that we do, is kindness and compassion.
Project White Butterfly is an organization that across different communities has brought people together through outreach, through peer support, through the community dinners, both people in recovery, families of people in recovery, families of people who have lost people. We're really a space for everyone.
Project White Butterfly and Recovery Center is really important to bring people together. Again, create a sense of community. Because it's a lot easier to do something with there's someone right next to you supporting you. If you're by yourself, you're going to have that big struggle to do something, and the community helps people support each other and have that additional support without judgment.
Project White Butterfly wants you to be who you are. We don't want you to change to be somebody else. We love you for who you are. We want you to walk in the door as is.
Being connected to this community has changed my life entirely. I mean, in every aspect of it. I would not have been able to recover alone. I tried to. This is not something that we can do alone. You need to be connected with others and to feel the love, receive, give the love. And so it has changed every single aspect of my life.
White Butterfly was able to keep me above water. They were very kind and sweet, just very understanding. As I learn and as I grow in the program, I was always a loner, and I was, the strong one. I can do this on my own. And I come to find out that no, I cannot do this on my own. That, you do need a system, a group of people that hold you accountable, that gives you criticism in the most loving way and caring way to help you get through life, to change your whole life around to being sober, breaking a lot of old habits.
So RCOs are a independent, nonprofit, focused and run by peers, people with lived experience. We are here to focus on what the needs of the peer, and the community are.
We wanted a space where people can just drop in and hang out. Just come in and talk to people. Just come in and hang out. We have cornhole boards, we have karaoke, we have a variety of meetings. We are not only endorsing one pathway of recovery. We have book studies, we have community meals. And so we're just really working on bringing people together to create a sense of belonging and to build community. And we have seen that.
Some of the things that we have here are some holistic ways for recovery. We offer Narcan, so the ability to offer that. We also have and are starting Smart Recovery. We have Dharma Recovery. So a lot of different avenues that may be something that other individuals aren't necessarily used to. And I think that's what brings and is unique about Project White Butterfly.
I mean, to have someone to go on a weekly or daily basis, I mean, we're so fortunate. Regular people don't get that. You know what I mean? We just have a lot of resources at our disposal in 2025 that, you know, I think we can take for granted sometimes. So
There is traditional and non-traditional programs here where we are trying to encompass and incorporate everyone that is going through recovery. Your recovery journey is as unique as you are.
You know, at first I went there because I had nowhere else to go, but now I have a big network of friends.
The unity is amazing, you know, and this program is just, it's just different.
It was huge to have that, you know, somebody listen and me be heard, because for so long in my life, I feel like I was never heard. You know, people just reached out and grabbed a hold of me and loved me when I couldn't love myself. And it played a huge part of me feeling like not alone anymore. It makes me feel home, for one, because I never felt at home anywhere in my life until, you know, I actually reached out and got the help I needed. So yeah, coming here, it's welcoming, it's warm, it's loving. The people just love to help. And that's a great part of it.
Social connectedness for me was pivotal. Connecting with one person early in my recovery was pivotal. I didn't know how to live without using, and having one person to guide me through that process is the reason I'm still here today. I think social connectedness in recovery as a whole helps people identify a sense of purpose, helps create accountability for people, helps bring joy into people's lives. If you're trying to get connected with Project White Butterfly, you can find us at
www.projectwhitebutterfly.org.
We are also on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram.
We have a beautiful butterfly line you can call.
That is 216-727-8725.
Here at 6184 Ridge Road in Parma. You can do the drop-in hours on Thursdays and Fridays, Thursdays from 4 to 9 and Fridays from 12 to 9. So we hope to see you around, and you can always call that Project White Butterfly phone number. The phone is pretty much on all the time, you know, except for while we're sleeping and trying to relax. So please feel free to reach out and talk to us.